Welcome back, my friends, as we play Langrisser 2, Scenario 3. We begin. Zorum Redux. Elwin and his party escaped from Zorum's siege and tried to reach the Light Shrine in a stole, but the leader of Zorum's army, General Vargas, had caught up to them and sent Zorum to finish the job. Elwin and his party had to face an overwhelming number of enemies and fight with a large handicap. Conditions for victory: all enemies must be wiped out, and that's going to be a lot of enemies. We are defeated if either Liana or Elwin falls. Okay, as per usual, we're going to check out the item shop first thing. Again, nothing really worthwhile on display on these shelves. The road there actually isn't terrible because it does offer some magic defense as well, but nobody's really casting magic against us at this stage, so not really going to see much use of it at the moment. But every little extra boost in defense is a benefit. We're going to leave the speed boots on Hein because he's very helpful with that. Scott and Elwin, of course, are going to have those great swords. I'd love to give one to Hein, but, you know, he's not really much of a lifter, so that's going to be a little bit for him to hold up and swing at the same time. So he'll pass. Eventually, we're going to be getting him a weapon, but that might be another scenario or two down the road. Gonna give soldiers to Scott and Elwin. Not gonna max out. We are going to max out Hein's guardsman, I'm thinking, because we want him to get to his next class as soon as possible. It shouldn't be too tall of an order. We might even be able to pull it off before the end or by the end of this scenario. That's what I'm going for. And plus, guardsmen are so inexpensive, it's really not a problem to hire them in max. A lot of pikemen here. Thank goodness we don't have any people on horseback that would present a problem for them. And turn one begins. Check in with Liana. What are you insinuating, Hein? That women can't walk over tough terrain? Or that you are a manly man? Neither of which is correct. Okay, Scott giving us a little intel on the Empire. You'll find that Scott is a very informative person. He's good to have on our team. He's the unofficial tactician for our group. And speaking of tactics, here's Zorum trying to capture us in from all sides. We're pretty much flanked in every direction. So first thing we have to do is decide where we want to place Liana. I'm just showing you your different options. I always decide to have her follow Elwin. That seems to be the best course of action, and really, judging by her level of enthusiasm there and her response, I'm guessing that that's the story choice. The game wants you to select him because, you know, they're kind of playing the two of them up together. You can see this coming a mile away. I'm not giving anything away. I'm not projecting anything there that wasn't there before. Remember Leiden and Chris, or Garrett and Mina if you prefer? Well, those star-crossed lovers have been reincarnated, it seems, in these two. So let's get a little lovey-dovey for a moment and savor in the romantic splendor. But all kidding aside, it's a wonderful thing when two people are in love and can actually be together and enjoy each other. Now Scott is going to head east with his troops. He's going to hold off this group. Hein is going to help him. His troops are going to have to catch up, but that shouldn't be a problem. I just have to be able to tell which one is which. Now, if you're ever unsure if your units match the same as another commander, who's moving? Who's animated? That lets you know whose party is active at the moment. You see Liana and her guardmen are standing still because they're not taking action, but Hein's are. So, once they stop moving, that's over. And I guess we're done for now. That was a quick first phase. She's really not in any major danger. Unless you make some really bad moves, you really shouldn't have to worry about her too much. Or her guardmen, although they would fall before her, but she does have an inherent defense boost that she gives, so they'll probably do decent. Every commander in this game has an inherent trait that they give to their troops on top of whatever bonuses they accrue through level ups and class changes. Liana tends to be a defensive character by nature, so her troops will always have decent defense. Hein, I believe, is going to give his troops a little bit of attack, which is why his guardsmen can actually do decently. Elwin, I'm not sure. He might be balanced between attack and defense. Scott is definitely attack, not defensive at all. And that's okay. Also, I think I forgot to note earlier that you can only recruit a maximum of 6 mercenaries in this game for every general, whereas in Warsong, you could recruit 8. I actually think I prefer the reduced numbers, and it helps you conserve money too. Because if you can only get 6, well, that's all you can get. That's less to spend. And really, you don't need more than that. There's enough bodies cluttering up space here as it is. Yeah. And earlier I spoke about mixing and matching troops. I said that you could recruit 2 different types of mercenaries per general once you have them available. Actually, in this version, you can recruit as many different kinds as you have access to. So if your general has 4 different types of troops available to them for purchase, they can mix and match however they want. They could have 2 elves, they could have a soldier, then they could have a knight, and then they could have a pikeman. You know, if that's what you want to do, that's what you can do. I'm not sure how sound that would be strategically, but if you just want to have a little fun and go crazy, hey, the world is yours. And with this attack up spell, yes, Hein's going to be having a world of fun over here, and there and everywhere, because he's going to be quite the world traveler here. He's helping out Scott for right now, but eventually I'm going to send him up to help Elwin. He's going to be our pitch-in pal, while getting some XP for himself, of course, because again, level 10 is in the cards. I'm going to call it now. I don't see any reason why we can't do it, because there's a lot of action on this map. And in case you didn't already guess, this isn't the last of who we're going to be up against. So this is going to be our first really lengthy fight. Because again, we want all the experience, and I think we actually do have to defeat all the enemies if I recall correctly. So again, as per always, you could end it quicker by targeting the enemy officers directly, ignore their men, but it's not really going to help you in the long run. And in this one, even more so than the first one, you do not want to pass up any experience opportunities, because they're really strong here. In the second half of the game, the enemy generals are not messing around. They have ridiculous attacking defense, nothing that you've seen before in this series. So if your people aren't as strong as they can be, it's going to be an uphill battle for you. And that's putting it mildly. So anyway, Elwin will be fine solo. I mean, he's got his men, but he's already, even at this stage, very powerful character, and that's only going to continue to climb for him. He is going to just get stupid statistically. And again, Scott with the strategy for us. Yep, so I don't have to tell you about pikemen. He just explained it better than I could. His father was a bit of a drill sergeant, but it worked to our favor here. Hein there really doesn't think much of Zorum for some reason. As you can see there. Also, I'm going to try to be good about letting you guys know what music track is playing now, in case you find yourself growing fond of the soundtrack as much as I am. And, oh, I don't know, you do a search for the soundtrack of the music on YouTube, for example, and you want to know what's what when I listen to a specific song. The one playing now during our player turn is called No Surrender, I'm pretty sure. Another standout selection. And it's aptly named because that's something that we're not going to be doing. And why would we? Look at this. 21 attack versus 18. Their defense is under 20, which means no concerns. And barbarian. But you'll notice they did okay there. They didn't die. I've noticed that barbarians seem to excel in the trees. That is their prime position. They seem to do really well there. It's like a home away from home for them. You fight them outside of the trees and they're easy pickings. They're not too bad in the mountains either because everybody gets a huge defense boost in the mountains or a castle wall. But it's rare that they have the opportunity to fight on the castle wall, if ever. So yeah, if you can, try to take them out when they're not in the trees. Beyond that, it's all yours. Now I'm going to play this one a little bit patiently. Not going to be so quick to attack. In most situations, you'll find that it's better in the long run when you don't have the overwhelming advantage in terms of troop type to just plant your people in position, surround the enemy. Don't initiate the attack. See if they're going to start the strike on their turn. Because at the beginning of your turn, as you know, your troops next to their officer will have a chance to regenerate 3 health, and you'll be in a better position to finish off the enemy. If I started attacking now, we'd be in a weakened state. Then on their turn, they're going to regenerate just like we would. And then they're going to have the upper hand. So we're going to hold firm. And can finish them off. Soldiers are very strong against pikemen, as Scott noted, so they had no problems there. We can do a little bit of damage to him probably. And I do mean a little bit. I was expecting a couple of points, but that's fine. He's at least not in the tree, so this shouldn't be too terrible. And with every point of damage we do, they lose the ability to do their own to us. See, now he's at 7. And they sustain very little damage. Now Liana does have access to heal. There's a possibility she can always cast some magic on us. I don't know if she will, but if she does, that'll be nice. And that's all you could do. Must have got that sword at a pawn shop. Second-hand, second-rate junk. Works out for us. Oh, and I forgot to note the music playing during the enemy's turn there. That is called The Evil Person, which is the track that you normally hear for fighting beasts and monsters. So it's kind of odd that they're playing that for them. I don't know if they're trying to insinuate something, but hey, I really don't see them as evil. They're on an opposing side, but in a very general sense, they're not evil at all. But the game has decided to judge them so. Who am I to argue? The end result is the same. We've got to take them down, so it really doesn't matter. And yeah, we're not going to attack you. Though we could. They're standing next to Elwin. They would have been okay. And they were trapped in. Nobody else could have attacked them next turn, so. Now, they shouldn't have any problems finishing this off. Excellent job, guys. Teamwork is the key to all progress. Yeah, go for it, Scott. He's got that boost from the great sword and almost took him down single-handedly as a result. So we got this. Even with 7, we should be able to finish this off, maybe? Yes, good. Losing only 1 in the process. Yeah, so this is going pretty well so far. Shouldn't really have too many problems because we've got so many pikemen. And with our soldiers and those guards getting that attack up, and barbarians who are basically just completely wasting their time. Yeah. Everybody just lap it up and enjoy. This will probably be the last really easy fight we have for a while. The next one I know is going to be potentially migraine inducing for sure. But patience, we'll get there. Hey, why you guys backing away? See something you don't like? Having second thoughts? Well, too late now. Elwin's coming for you. I'm going straight for the barbarians. They're in the trees, but so are we. So it's not gonna help you. One shot. Two stop. Next up. No. He still has some men. And as you know by now, you finish the men before you take out the general. And we have such a unholy advantage. Might as well capitalize. And more soldiers. Yeah, so I think that was the game's way of not so politely scoring your progress at this point. That's kind of their way of saying if you haven't earned the attack up spell by now, you're kind of lagging behind with Hein. You really should have that by now. Thankfully we do, and we've been using it, and we'll continue to, because it's so effective. Oh, this is another great music track. I really like this one, really, really pick up and go. This one is called Soldier. Yeah, very plain name, nothing very interesting about it. Not very descriptive, but that's what it's called, Soldier. I don't know why, it's almost kind of got a zany quality to it. It kind of reminds me of something that you would hear in, well, it's not exactly the same, but for some reason, it reminds me of something you'd hear in one of those old cartoons. Yeah, I'm kind of giving away, you know, if you're an 80s baby, any 80s, early 90s babies out there, maybe you remember actually growing up with some of those Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes type of cartoons. Something with the wacky hijinks afoot. That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's just kind of all over the place, you know. But strangely appropriate somehow. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Anyway, we're going to finish off the last of these guys if we can. Provided they can get over there, and they can. Oh, but you know what, we will hold off because we don't have access to all of our men, and he still has somebody in the water. We're not going to be able to reach them, so we're going to end it. Hopefully they'll come to us. Hopefully they won't run away, though that would make the most sense considering their situation. Let's see what they want to do. Okay, they're coming towards us. Okay, I don't know why they want to do that, but they did, so that's good. That's cool. This guy's gonna go down really quick. I don't see him sticking around much longer, but you never know. Things happen. Sometimes strange things. Unforeseen things. Ooh, speaking of unforeseen. Did not expect that. But you can see they're tough. They're Tonka. They can take it. They will recover next turn even better, so yeah, we've got a lot of people here now, but more of the same. Pikes, barbarians, inconsequential, irrelevant. Scott, let's go. I really don't want to put him in the water. That'll reduce his movement, so I'm gonna keep him on dry land. That's my kind of land. Because nobody here is really good swinging, so. Besides, we've got his men here who can fight on the shore somehow, even though their feet are in the water. Don't question it. Oh, okay, there is like a little corner of land there, so and get him with the technicality. Plus 0 terrain advantage either way, so it doesn't matter in terms of our attack. Okay, that's that 25 defense boost for you. And they still managed to do decent damage. What's a synonym for damage? I feel like I'm saying that word a lot. I'm trying to reduce the level of redundancy in the words I use, so I think I need to consult with the thesaurus. I need to consult with the thesaurus before my next video. Try to exercise a little variety here. For the sake of your ears, you know, don't want to keep hearing the same thing over and over again, and after a while it sounds like I'm trying to hypnotize you or put you to sleep. Same difference. And with one, what can you do? Besides die, not much. If he's dead, it's hard to tell. Games like this, you never know if they're dead or if they've just been defeated, because they come back so often. But him being a no-name, low-level peon, I would imagine that is in fact the end of him. Now somebody like Zorum, if we were to face him right now, he'd probably be back again. Most likely. He has a name and a face and dialogue, so yeah, a little more thought was put into him. And he is a subordinate of General Vargas, who you will definitely be seeing soon. One of the major Imperial generals, so there you go. Whereas in Warsong, we pretty much just had Leon as the Emperor's right hand. Oh no, we had Zeld too, but you saw very little of Zeld. He wasn't really built up that much. But that was pretty much it. This game, you've got a lot more high-ranking officials to deal with, which makes things interesting, so that's good. We need some worthwhile competition. A little challenge is always a good thing. Sharpens our blades, toughens our wits, strengthens our souls. And they're just gonna maintain a defensive position, keep Liana's people safe, but she's gonna move where she wants to move, so I really can't do anything about that. But unlike Chris and her villagers, they can actually defend themselves, so again, shed not a tear. They will be just fine. See, look at that. Commander did 1 point of damage to them. It's ridiculous. And more of the same. They must have tiptoed around that wave when it came to them. Did a little sidestep maneuver. You didn't see it. It happened though. It's like step on a crack and you break your mama's back. They just walked over the cracks. Because we love our mothers, don't we? Of course we do. Gotta keep those backs intact, including our own. So we'll continue to exercise good tactics. Though again, you really don't need to think too hard for this one. They've made it very, very easy for us. And we're gonna make it a little easier. Hein. Elwin. Something he didn't need. More offense. And this is when the mighty blows come tumbling down on top of them, reducing them to nothing in a heartbeat. Now the question is, where do I want to put him? Because as a low-level officer, they all suffer from a low command radius right now. Only a distance of 2. So his men cannot go too far. The only downside to attacking any other buff spells is they only affect troops who are within their commander's radius. So you can boost attack, protection, which we haven't seen yet, anything you want on your men. But if you move them too far away from their commander, they will no longer receive those benefits. They will still have 0 boosts all around. So you have to keep that in mind. But it's probably a good way to balance out the ability so they don't become too powerful. Because if you cast attack, protection, which is defense up, and send your people in all 4 corners, yeah. It'd make things a whole lot easier, but the game doesn't necessarily want things to be too easy, so it didn't do that, so I'm okay with that. Again, we don't want it to feel like a walk in the park. You know, don't want it to be nail-bitingly tough necessarily, but, you know, we want to be able to pay attention to what we're doing. If it gets too easy, it's easy to go into autopilot, and that's less engaging. And to me, engaging is enjoyment. If I'm not engaged, I'm not having much fun. That's just how I look at it. And we're probably going to finish up this turn and end this installment pretty quickly. We'll be able to conclude this battle in the next video for sure. There will come a time when the battles will be getting quite lengthy. I'll probably have to extend this to 3 videos per scenario, maybe even 4 for a few of them. But I'm going to do my best to limit it to 3 videos max per scenario, and always go for 2 when I can. I just don't want it to be too jarring when you have to experience that cut at the end and then wait. And speaking of which, we're at that time. So everybody, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully see you soon.